What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another very exciting episode right here on the MI Gardener channel. In today's episode, we're going to do something we haven't done in a while, and that is a speed update. I'm going to show you as much stuff that's happening right now in the garden as humanly possible in 5 minutes. Let's go. Figured I might as well start with our living fence. A lot of you have asked how it's doing, and it's doing really well. Our trees have actually put on about 1.5 feet of growth since we planted them. They're doing really well. They're starting to fill out, and they're looking exactly like how we envisioned. We put this living fence in so that we actually could have some sort of privacy because our city banned fences. So because we couldn't have a fence, we put in trees. Our compost pile's been breaking down really well. This was our solar composting pile that we had the tarp on, and since it started warming up, because it is spring, we actually took off the tarp so that it could get maximum sun exposure, and it's doing really well. It's breaking down super nicely, and it's looking just incredible. So that's gonna be ready to throw in the garden just about any day now. Our Mediterranean herb garden actually broke over the winter. The freezing and thawing finally took an effect on the joints, which I figured would be the first thing to go, because unfortunately the dovetail joints are really not that thick right here, and that's ultimately what caused it to crack. But all I have to do is just take a little bit of wood from the inside, push this board back and screw into it, and we'll be fine. All of our peach trees are starting to bud. They're looking really nice. It won't be too long before they're starting to flower. Same thing with our cherry trees. They're just absolutely exploding with growth. Check it out. Beautiful. This is the first year our plum trees are going to give any fruit. Very excited for them to flower. These are a superior plum, and they're looking really nice. Our seed saving project for our Zabroon shallots has started off very well. We grew these last year, and since they're a biennial, they're going to flower this year. They're putting on tons of green growth, and all that green growth is then going to push flower stalks in the summer. We're going to save seeds from all these, so that way we can preserve seeds, because the Zabroon shallot is a very difficult variety to find seeds for. Chives survived. Knew they would. Our garlic looks incredible. Best our garlic has ever looked. The rutabagas we planted last year not only survived, but they're growing again, and they look absolutely beautiful. They are huge. And they're also difficult to pull out. I'll have to get that one later. Here's another one. Check this out. Look at this. Beautiful. Throw that sucker in a stew. All of our strawberries are coming out of dormancy. That's always a really beautiful sign. Won't be too long before they start flowering. Looks like our sage survived. Very good sign there. I was worried that I pruned a little bit too much because it got cold right after I pruned, and so all that growth then got clipped away, but it looks like they're going to come back just fine. This is the second year that our perennial kale has survived. We're actually calling this perennial kale, despite the fact that it's just normal scarlet kale, but it's so cold hardy that this thing has actually survived 2 years in a row now. This is the third year that it's growing, and I just cannot believe it. So we're actually going to be saving seeds from this again, and just continuing our seed saving project for this, because this is by far one of the most cold hardy kales I've ever grown. Chamomile seedlings, boy, you never want to let a chamomile plant go to seed, because they will spread everywhere. I am just stoked about this kale. This thing survived the winter, but look at how crinkly that got. This thing should be called brain kale because it looks like brains. That is just outstanding. That's the coolest looking kale I've ever seen. We even had a cabbage survive the winter. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to save seeds from this cabbage. I've never saved seeds from cabbage before, but this will be a first. Very cool. Looks really, really pretty. As suspected, we did lose our rosemary plants. A lot of you thought I was lying when I said that rosemary is not as cold hardy as people make it out to seem. Most rosemary plants will not survive, and even though we had an extremely mild winter, still was too cold for it. It died. Our currants and gooseberries, well, they're starting to push leaves. Very good sign. These are going to be loaded with flowers before you know it. Last night we were supposed to get some rain, so took the cover off the rain barrel. Figured I might as well get some early spring rain. And it looks like we filled it up in one fell swoop there. So that's 50 gallons of rain right there, ready for spring when we need it. And this is about the best sign that I've seen in a very long time. Check it out. Our pear tree that we thought we were going to lose over the winter actually survived, and it's going to flower. That is exciting. And it looks like our apple tree is loaded with blossoms this year. I can't wait to see how many we get. It's gonna be a good year for apples. Whew, man, almost broke a sweat there. I had a lot that I wanted to update you guys on, so definitely went over 5 minutes, but there was a ton that needed to be updated. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to throw a like up there. Also, make sure to stay tuned for more videos. We have a ton more coming, especially now that spring is starting to warm up. We have a lot more on the docket that we're gonna be coming outside and doing in the grow room, planting, just tons of stuff in the works. So stay tuned for that. If you've not yet subscribed, make sure to do that. And as always, we'll catch you on the next episode. Remember to grow big or go home.